What is going on, everybody? It's Alex coming back with another video. Today, we are going to be doing the week 1 game picks for college football. Yes, indeed. So, bottom line, there is a lot of damn games. I'm just going to show y'all really quick. There is a lot of damn games here. So, we're going to be picking the ones where I actually know a bit about the teams. So, if we see something like, or I was about to, Western Illinois versus Ball State, I'm honestly going to take Ball State because I actually like Ball State. But some like, let's just say Weber State versus Western Illinois. I don't know enough about those teams. I'm not going to comment on them, but I do know that Ball State's actually pretty damn good. So I'm going Ball State right there. Just wanted to introduce this new idea. I was going to be doing this for tomorrow, but Ohio State plays Minnesota tonight. So we are going to be definitely doing all these games, including Coastal Carolina here. Big fan of that. But like Wagner versus Buffalo, I actually do know a little bit. I like Buffalo in that case. But regardless, we are going to be rocking through with it because look, there's some really cool games today, and I'm not going to be missing out on the opportunity. So starting off with the first of the week, because all these games have already happened. Temple, Rutgers. So for me, I don't like Rutgers in general. I think that Temple is a far better destination for terms of prospects. I know that Rutgers has been pretty good historically, but of recent times, I think Temple has a bit better in terms of recruiting and stuff. So and we're going Temple right there because again, two of the guys that I really like, which Kenny Yoboa as well as Quincy Roche, I believe, came from Temple. So they do actually know how to scout some talent. Obviously, we took Ball State right there because A, I don't know anything about Western Illinois, but B, I do know Ball State can ball the F out. Here, is this even a question? Citadel has randomly been able to tie Alabama at half one time. That's the only time that they've ever been really that successful. Coastal Carolina is a dominant threat. I think that I could have them possibly even in the top 10. Ignore everything that happens right over here, by the way, guys, just because, again, this is in like alpha testing, if I'm not mistaken. So right now, I'm just trying to just select the games. So beware, that could be awkward, especially since, like, you know, UNL is going to be 0-1. It's at 0-1 is 12th ranked. So BS like that. Regardless, Long Island versus FIU. I'm 100% taking FIU there. They know how to scout talent. I do like them quite a bit. Same thing with Buffalo. You know, these are some pretty gimme games until we get here. Boise versus Central Florida. Now, Central Florida, you got Dylan Gabriel there. You do have some solid talent on the offense and defense, even though there were some key pieces that left. Something that does kind of concern me. The offensive line, Boise State, on the other hand, they didn't lose too much in this last draft. So it's something I would definitely consider. However, you are in Florida. Just keep that in mind. You're going from Denver to Florida. So I know Denver is a city. I don't know where the hell the exact city central that UCF is in, but you're going from Colorado to Florida. I'm going to be saying Florida should be able to edge out. It should be able to give Central Florida the best advantage there. ECU versus Appalachian. Ooh, that's a good game. I'm going to take Appalachian there. I think that Eastern Carolina is not nearly as good as Appalachian, who has shown to be able to get into the top 25. So I think the talent on App State is going to be a little bit better overall. Same thing with NC State. I love South Florida. Don't know why. I'd like some NCAA 2007 game. Something like that. Might have been 08. I just fell in love with USF. Don't know why, but I did. And so I'm just a big fan of them in general. However, NC State, it'd be ridiculous for me to say South Florida has a chance against NC State. Similar to Weber State and Utah. Like, these are some pretty gimme games right here. There's no real need for explanation. Utah is just pretty damn dominant in general, and they're much better than Weber State. Davis versus Tulsa. I'm still going to go Tulsa. They have a pretty good quarterback. That is a god-awful color right there. I don't know why the hell. Regardless, Davis actually isn't that terrible. Overall, they do have some talent that does come out of UC Davis, but Tulsa has recently been able to provide teams like SMU difficulty in being able to beat them. I think we beat them by 3 points when we were supposed to beat them by like 2.5 scores. So, you know, cheers to Tulsa for being able to like at least be competent. I know they lost their best piece in Zayvon Collins, but they are competent all around. So I would not say that losing Zayvon Collins is going to put them out of contention against a team like UC Davis. Here we go. Blockbuster time. Ohio State, Minnesota, teams who are great come to die on Thursday, according to Colin Coward. who you posted 19 minutes ago. Holla. I think Minnesota's not that great anymore. Mohamed Ibrahim is going to be their best asset. You have Daniel Faalele on the offensive line, but I mean, is this even a question? I don't really like Minnesota doesn't have the offensive prowess that it used to. So I think Ohio State, again, awful colors, will like in terms of like the fact you can't even see the logo anymore or the name. But I think Ohio State can easily edge it out. And there's just not much to Minnesota. I know people like Ottman Bell, and I was one of them. It's not like he's going to make a big impact against Ohio State. So stick to Ohio State right there. Houston Baptist versus New Mexico. I don't know too much about this, but I do know a little bit more about New Mexico. Pretty sure they can beat Houston Baptist right there. Bowling Green versus Tennessee. I hope to God Tennessee can beat them. They don't even have a logo anymore. Again, colors. Bowling Green does have some talent that does come out of it, but I mean, it's Tennessee. I mean, come on. I know that they're losing some of their highest end prospects, but they still have some other guys there who are talented for sure. I know they lost, I believe, both of their running backs, one to UNC and I think one to Oklahoma. I know Gray left, so I know there's another one who I think went to Oklahoma. That might have been Gray. But regardless, let's continue. UT Martin versus Western Kentucky. I swear to God, if the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers could not beat UT Martin, they don't deserve to like ever exist again. This one actually I am gonna stick to UNLV. Eastern Washington does actually have some talent that does come out of it, but UNLV, I'm just gonna call it. You're in Vegas versus Washington. I'm just gonna call it that way. Southern Utah, Arizona State, another one. These are some pretty gimme games until we get here. UNC versus VT. So UNC, we just don't know about the running back situation, about the wide receivers. Obviously, the quarterback's solid. The line has never been good. And defensively, they're okay. VT is probably far superior defensively. They did lose their star running back and stuff. So I think the amount of pieces for VT that they lost equal about North Carolina. And I think North Carolina is a little bit better in general. So I'm going to go UNC here. I'm hoping to God they can beat them because that's not a good sign if Sam Howell can't beat VT. Just saying. San Francisco University versus Eastern Michigan. That should be a walk in the park for Eastern Michigan. And Duke, Charlotte. Yeah, another one where Duke should be able to win. They should definitely be able to crush it there. Old Dominion, Wake Forest. OD actually does put some good talent out there. I believe Taylor Heineke might be from Old Dominion, but you got to go Wake Forest here. Like, they can't be that crap, right? South Dakota, Kansas, another one. Kansas better win. Like, they better win. South Dakota State, Colorado State. South Dakota State's not that bad, actually. So I'm not going to disrespect them. Colorado State should just definitely have more talent that comes out of high school. Coming out of high school into their program. So I'm just assuming Colorado can do it because I know they also have Trey McBride, who's a really talented tight end who's going to probably be a third-round pick this year. So they have the pieces. They just need to put it together. I have maybe South Dakota State. Pretty sure they're a D2 school, or not D2 FCS school. I think they could probably give them a little bit of trouble, but not that much. Northern Colorado better get their butt whooped, trying to reduce the amount of cursing. Colorado Boulder should just whoop Colorado, like Northern Colorado. So praying that they can. Michigan State versus Northwestern. That's a good game. That's a really good game. Let's talk about that. Michigan State has a ton of talent always. Quarterbacks 99.9% of the time the concern. Northwestern, I'm forgetting. They had a transfer that went there. It might have been Jack Cohn. Not sure. But Northwestern has a dominant defense. They lost Greg Newsome. I think that there was a corner on that team. Forgetting his name right now, but he was even better. I'm not talking about Brandon Joseph. Like, there's another corner who I thought was better. That defense is going to be the difference maker in this game. Top 10 defense last year as well. Big fan of Northwestern right there. Colgate, BC. BC, you better win that game. You better win that game. Colgate is, I think, a D3 school. They might not be D3. I think they are, though, because I was looking at applying there. But BC, you better win the game. Army versus Georgia State. Army is probably going to run Georgia State into the ground. So let's just hope that Army can continue to be dominant on the ground. Stanford, Kansas State. That's actually going to be a really good game. You got Deuce Vaughn over here. Stanford's quarterback situation is, I'm not 100% sure how that's going. But I'm personally going to actually call an upset here, Kansas State. I think Deuce Vaughn being on the ground the entire time will actually be able to mitigate any chance of Stanford coming back. I think they can chew the clock and have big plays. I just love Deuce Vaughn. So I'm going to be choosing Kansas State right there. Oklahoma, Tulane, please. I don't ruin the chances of you actually going anywhere because you lose to Tulane. Same. Holy Cross versus Yukon. Don't know that much about these teams. I'm going to just go Yukon just because I do know Yukon is more talented. They get better recruits than Holy Cross. Monroe versus Kentucky. Kentucky definitely gets a lot better recruits. So I'm going to be going Kentucky right there. Darian Kennard, hoping that he can take that step up so I can put him into these first rounds because right now he's a third rounder at best. Western Michigan versus Michigan. If my boy Dwayne Eskridge were there, I would still say Michigan would have whooped him by 50. It's probably 60 now. Michigan needs to at least do something. Fordham in New York, nice, versus Nebraska. Nebraska is the Cornhuskers? Yeah, they better win that one. I was thinking Iowa, Iowa's the Hoosiers. No, not Iowa. Indiana. Indiana was the Hoosiers. Hoosiers, Cornhuskers. Regardless, let's continue. Big game, Penn State, Wisconsin. Penn State switching to an air raid scheme. That's going to be interesting. I'm going to love to see how the wide receivers there right now. That's blanking my head because I'm saying KJ Hamler. Regardless, their lead number one wide receiver will deal with that because he should do a lot better. We're going to go Wisco, though. It's the first game of the year, and it's a lot easier to get to run the ball when you don't know how to pass versus pass when you don't know how to pass. So I think Wisconsin has a better offensive line as well. Just a better program in general at the moment. I think Penn State's trying to find themselves again because they were dominant as hell a couple years ago. Wisconsin is just consistent. They're consistently good. Lafayette versus Air Force. Let me choosing Air Force here. I think that I don't know too much about Lafayette, so not going to give much analysis on that. Rice versus Arkansas. I hope an SEC team can beat damn Rice. I mean, for the love of God. And Arkansas, you have Jalen Cattle on there. I think he can make some big plays in this game. Fresno State, Oregon. I'm going to go Oregon. I'm praying that they can be consistent and be good. I'm forgetting who Oregon's quarterback is because I know Shuck transferred to Texas Tech. Don't know where he's going to be, but remind me down in the comment section if you guys are paying attention. Tell know if you're paying attention. Marshall, Navy. Ooh, I like Marshall, dude. I like Marshall a lot, but Navy knows how to kick ass. They definitely whoop. So I'm going to be going Navy here. Might change though, based on their quarterback situation. Navy just is consistently really damn good. Cincinnati should be able to destroy Miami, Ohio, just because I think that they're a top 5 team, possibly top 4. I think that maybe their conference the conference that my school's in, the AAC will kind of eliminate the chances of them actually making the playoff. But I mean, they're great. They're a great roster. Bama, Miami. Actually, it's not as easy as I think. I don't know if De'Aaron King's going to be back. He might be back sometime this season, but I'm pretty sure Alabama has the talent to be able to just destroy regardless. We're going to be going Alabama. West Virginia, Maryland. Ooh, that's an underrated game right there. I think West Virginia's talent on defense, even though I know they transferred quite a few dudes, is going to be better than Maryland overall, which has Tua's brother there. I'm going to call an upset here because I think Maryland's definitely going to be favored. I'm going to go West Virginia. I know one of my guys in the chat is going to love it because I do think West Virginia is a damn good school. Jared Dagey is a little bit inconsistent, so it's really dependent on him, but they're high-end flashes over there. So next, Indiana. There's the Hoosiers versus Iowa, which I was messing up earlier. The Hawkeyes. This is going to be an interesting game because Indiana definitely, it really just depends again on the health of Michael Penix, but you do have some talented players there. The defense isn't bad. Iowa is really good though. They do have some talent on their roster. Man, this is a coin toss for me. I'm going to go with the home team usually in a coin toss. So let's go Iowa right there. Louisiana Tech versus Mississippi State. Ooh. Louisiana Tech is pretty solid, but man, you can't go against the SEC school. No, because Louisiana Tech doesn't even have Milton Williams anymore. Central Michigan versus Missouri. For the love of God, Missouri, please win that game. UMass Pitt, again, these big programs need to be able to beat tiny programs like UMass. They don't even have Andy Isabella anymore. Montana State, Wyoming. I'm going Wyoming right there. Again, better program overall. UNI versus Iowa State. Iowa State needs to win that, but Northern Iowa has another explosive, huge tackle. So don't know what they're feeding their boys over there at UNI, but they're doing a good job. Raging Cajuns versus Texas. I'm just choosing Texas because I'm just hoping that they don't continue to embarrass themselves. I mean, as a guy who goes to SMU, it would be perfectly fine, but because I hate Texas. But still, out of respect for the program, please win that game. San Jose State versus USC. USC better win that game. They better win that game. So they have a talented ass roster. Keaton Slovis loses this game. He's probably not going to be a day 1 or 2 pick. Just saying. Gardner Webb, Georgia Southern. Don't know that much about him, so I'm going with the home team, Georgia Southern. Georgia Southern usually has better prospects, anyways. Central Arkansas versus Arkansas State. Ooh. I mean, they don't even have the guy who's on the Rams, who I'm bugging on right now. I'm going to go Arkansas State all day. Auburn better beat Akron, please. That'd be embarrassing. We do have the fan going off. Monmouth versus Middle Tennessee. Going to go Middle Tennessee just because Oklahoma State better beat Missouri State, please. I've been saying please the entire time. But there's just some of these games where it's like I cannot imagine them not winning it. So that's why. Syracuse is going to be, finally, it's been a little while since we had an away win. Going to be Ohio. Again, more talent there. Oregon State, Purdue. We're going to go Purdue. Again, Oregon State, they lost their star running back as well as pass rusher. Eastern Illinois versus South Carolina, another team that is just exponentially better. And then SMU, pulling up, versus Abilene, another school that offered me. I am going SMU all the dang way. Honestly, I might try to get some tickets to see if I can see that game. But regardless, Baylor, Texas State. I'm going to go Baylor here. Texas State actually doesn't have a terrible team. It's just Baylor's a larger program. They had that like top 15 run for some reason, and then it kind of slid off. Troy's better than I don't know. I don't even know what that is. Southern University, Texas Tech versus Houston. That's a good game. That's a good game. Tyler Shuck versus whoever the heck the backup is here. I'm forgetting his name. I do know who it is. I think it's Toon. Toon's not bad, but I think Texas Tech in general will just be a little more explosive. Norfolk State versus Toledo. Go Toledo all the way. I think the guy's name there is like Peters or something like that. I don't know. There was the quarterback for Toledo is actually someone I like. Nichols versus Memphis. Yeah, what is Nichols? That's my question. Memphis better win that game. Georgia Clemson. Here we go. Here's a fun game. So DJU has shown that he can start, right? Georgia has shown that they can compete for a championship. I'm going Georgia. That's all I can say. It's just the team isn't, and you lost ETN as well. So there's just a big drop off right there. I know that Brochma likes the backup for Clemson, but Georgia's Georgia. Northern Illinois versus Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech all the way. They do have a young quarterback who I think can have some potential there. Apparently, Richard talks about a big ass safety there who has some big impact as well. So Georgia Tech, I'm taking them over NIU right there. Florida Atlantic, FAU versus Florida. I hope Florida can win that game. They need to, especially if Emory Jones wants to be considered talented in any aspect. And then Illinois is playing again because that was week 0. That was the first weeks there. I think that they're going to beat UTSA. North Texas will beat Northwestern State University. Virginia should beat William and Mary as well. Texas A&M, definitely. I don't need to explain that one. TCU versus Duquesne. I'm definitely taking TCU there. Southern Alabama versus Southern Mississippi. Actually, both these teams are pretty good. Going Southern Alabama. You're in Alabama. Montana versus Washington. Washington needs to win that. Vanderbilt better be Eastern Tennessee State University. I think that's what they are. And then LSU versus UCLA. That's actually a really good game. Very underrated right there. It just really depends on who LSU is going to start. I think it's Miles Brennan. Is his name? DTR. Like, can LSU withstand the run? Because they have Mike Jones there, but he's a 30% missed tackle rate. It's pretty terrible. UCLA could slip one in here and be able to make a big upset. I'm calling it. UCLA upset. I'm going to probably bite it because DTR is not good. But the running game, I'm believing in my former friend, Zach Charbonnet, back at Oaks Christian. I'm believing in him as well as that guy who's above him. I think his name's Brown. Pretty damn good. Then you got UTEP here. Better be Bethune-Cookman. The heck is that? Then you got New Mexico State versus San Diego State. I'm gonna go New Mexico State right there. I think they're gonna be better than San Diego State. BYU versus Arizona. I think Arizona needs to finally get a win under their belt every now and again, and it's gonna be against a BYU that just lost most of its talent. Nevada versus California. I'm gonna go California there. Cal does have some pretty talented quarterbacks, and they have a talented roster overall. Utah State, Washington State. That's a good game. Utah State doesn't have a quarterback though, so we're gonna go Washington State right there. Portland State. Actually, I don't know if this is true, but my former quarterback that I used to work with, Jaden Casey, he did transfer there, but I don't know if he's gonna start. But I think that he can beat up on Hawaii. I'm gonna call a big upset right there. Portland State. Definitely not out of any logic, just kind of gut feeling. Notre Dame, Florida State. I gotta go Notre Dame. I think that's actually where Jack Cohn went. I'm forgetting who's on Northwestern, but regardless, Ole Miss, Louisville. I'm gonna go Ole Miss again. Louisville just lost their two biggest pieces. Malik Cunningham can't do everything himself, especially with his size. Matt Corral gonna come in and show everybody that he is a first round prospect. So that's the video. I hope you guys did enjoy it. That was actually quite fun for me. I said I wasn't gonna do the games I didn't understand, and I was just like, screw it. We're just gonna do all of them. So I'll see you guys on the far side. Peace.